All right. Good morning. It's Tool Time Tuesday, and Leslie and I decided we were going to do a little bit of a Zoom reset today. Zoom has updated yet again, so there's some changes. A couple of them to me were a little jarring, so we wanted to wanted to talk about them and make sure you were aware, and remind you that you have control over your Zoom settings. So if something's really bothering you, there may be a way to modify your settings to make Zoom work better for you as well. And please share your Zoom tips too. Um, I'm Larissa. My co-host is Leslie. We're from the Research Medical Library. Um, if you didn't know, October is National Medical Librarians Month, so thank a librarian this month. We're here to help you find information, not just any information, but the right information. You can always email us, chat us, call us, check out our website. On Insider, we have an external website as well. We're here for you. I wanted to mention a couple of our upcoming classes that we have. We have an EndNote 21 class on organizing your EndNote library. We have regular writing Q&A sessions where topic is selected by our scientific editors to discuss. These are just 30 minutes, super interesting. If you need or want to learn more about writing, scientific writing. We have a class on Science CV coming up. So that is the newer platform that's being used for NIH and NSF biosketches. So if you need to know more about using Science CV, that will be on the institutional calendar. And our very awesome librarian, David Ferris, or he's a senior librarian now, David Ferris is teaching class on systematic reviews from question to publication. He's very good at teaching this class. He's been teaching some classes on systematic reviews, even for librarians across the country. Very expert at this. So if you are interested in learning more about systematic reviews, or maybe you have fellows doing systematic review, this is a great class to take as well. All right. First thing we want to remind you is to make sure to update your Zoom app. We've said this a million times, but if you're not on the latest version of Zoom, then you may be missing out on some of the features that other people have, or it also, there's bug fixes, right? Every time they update an app. So if you open your Zoom app from your start menu, you can click on the avatar in the upper right-hand corner, and there's a, I said to go to settings, but you don't even have to go to settings. I don't know why I said that. You just click check for updates. It'll run through a little wizard and update your Zoom app. The Zoom app updates kind of frequently, so you can check it, every couple weeks. Don't do this right before you start a meeting because it needs to close your Zoom out to update. If you don't have the Zoom app still on your desktop, don't forget you can go to the Software Center and you can download the Zoom Workplace app. There's a lot of functionality in it, including chat feature, which we're going to talk about a little bit. And so make sure to, on your start menu, you can look for the Software Center and get the Zoom app if you don't have it on your desktop. I use it every day. With my coworkers, we chat on the Zoom app. We have a shared chat for general questions that we're helping each other out with as well. Okay. Wanted to talk about reactions because reactions are getting more and more, I would say for some people, maybe intrusive, but they're more available now. I think they're super fun. But they can also be a little bit intrusive. So we wanted to talk about them and also let you practice with them if you want. This is a safe space for you to practice all your reactions. You can always react here, as you can see some people doing. One thing about reactions is there's this thing called recognize hand gestures. So you may have noticed this before, but it's automatically turned on. It's under the react button in your toolbar. And you can try this if you want. There's a couple of reactions that you can do. If you hold your hands up to the camera, like in a heart gesture, it will pull up a heart. Although I don't know if I have mine turned on now that I said that, Leslie.
You do. I just saw your heart.
Okay, cool. If you do the double thumbs up, it's celebration, so it's fireworks. It is slow to react, Leslie and I found. But there's a couple of those things that you can do. If this drives you nuts, you can also go to your react button there, and there's a little caret that you can click on and turn that recognize hand gestures off. For me, sometimes I'm move my hands too much. I don't think of myself that way, but Zoom has taught me that I do. And all of a sudden I'm in a meeting and there's like a weird thumbs up or something. So if you want to turn them off, you can just go to that react button, click on the caret, and you can uncheck recognize hand reactions.
And everyone's realized that they can try the other reactions. You can click on the react button and try all the different ones.
You can definitely click on that button, try all of them, and the reactions will float up. If you are, if this is driving you bananas, you can disable the animated reactions as well. So you can, so you don't see all these animations come up. So it's enabled by default, but you can sign into your Zoom desktop app. You'll go back and click on your profile picture settings. Under meetings and webinars, there's a couple things you can toggle off in the reactions section, which includes clicking the animate emojis toggle. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Okay, I'm trying to get to a page, so I'm not like showing you guys all my top secret chats. There's lots of top secret, it's not. Can you see my Zoom app, Leslie?
I can.
Okay, perfect. So this is the Zoom app, and I have it open all day usually, but I can go into my little avatar, click on settings. It opened in the other window, but here's my settings. You can search for your settings because there's just a few million of them, but you'll see that there's this emoji and reactions.
So someone's mentioned the I'll be right back button, which
yes,
I also like because it mutes you and turns your video off at the same time.
Yes. So if you do the be right, what is it called again?
Be right back.
Be right back. So be right back is nice because if you do need to step away or something crazy starts happening in your background, it will turn your camera off quickly and you can step away for a little bit.
Someone asked, it's my understanding that Zoom will be phased out by the institution. Is that not the case?
I have not heard that.
This.
I think there is more reliance on Teams, but I have not heard that at all. So for reactions, you can toggle off these. So if you get kind of like motion sickness or it's distracting, you can turn those off so they don't show for you. So just always want to show you the option to turn them off if that's more comfortable. I went crazy. Sorry about that.
Janet says Teams needs to work on those beauty filters before anyone sends Zoom away.
Anna, can you let Microsoft know they need to work on their beauty filters?
I will. It's because we have an education license and they don't discern between K through 12 and then higher ed. Even the Microsoft people are asking for us.
Really? That's good to know. I didn't even think of that as being a thing, but I guess, you know, education's real life, you know. Okay, so for a little bit more about the Zoom reset, we want to remind you, first of all, how many of you have been in a meeting where somebody's unmuted accidentally? Just, you know, okay. Bananas, okay. We are 5 years into this and we are still having people unmuted in meetings and sometimes in really embarrassing ways. I mean, I've heard some stuff, okay, and I'm sure you have too. So if you want to protect yourself from that happening, make sure that you go to your Zoom Workplace app and you go to your settings. You can search for mute and keep my microphone muted. When you go to keep my microphone muted, that means that every time you enter a room, it's muted. That just protects you a little bit extra. Do remember though, if you're in a breakout room during a session and you come back from the breakout room, you may still be unmuted because you were unmuted in the breakout room. So keep an eye on that mute, but one way to protect yourself is just to keep the microphone muted. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yes, you can also preview before you join and make sure it's turned off. It's just, I always have mine muted when I enter the room just to protect myself. Not that I'm doing anything crazy, but I don't know, maybe I'm slurping on something before I go in. I don't want to be rude, so I always keep it muted. For hosts, you can set this if you present a lot. You can go to the mdacc.zoom.us website, go to settings, search for mute, and I toggle on this option to mute all participants when they join the meeting. So I do that to try to protect you as well. So when you come in, you're going to be muted whether you want to be or not. You can unmute as you want, but we just want to kind of protect you so we're not having all that noise, that ambient noise in the background. Don't forget, if you are the host, you can set a co-host to also mute people in that participants panel while you're presenting. Best thing ever to do, because if you're hosting a session, you don't necessarily have time to manage the room. Just like if we were in person, if you're up there presenting, you can't go around and, do all the things. So have a backup person in there that can mute people as well. The other weird thing that popped up on this latest version of Zoom is this thing called auto frame my video. It does give you the option to turn it on or not turn it on, but I've had a couple of people turn it on accident. What it does is, and I don't have mine turned on because it drove me bananas, if you lean over to pick up your pen or grab something, the camera will reframe your image. This just means motion sickness to me, but you could turn this off very easily in the Zoom settings right now. You can go to your video, click on the little caret. If it's auto frame my video is checked, that means it's on. You can uncheck it to turn it off. It does freak you out when it starts reframing your video, but also it just makes me feel a little overwhelmed to see videos moving around. And it's just a little weird. So one nice thing about Zoom is while you're in the meeting, you can go to your video and you can turn that off if you want right there. They've improved that since we first launched. Also, don't forget you can change your view. This isn't particularly new, but I forget about this as well. If you're in a Zoom and you see all the videos and it's driving you nuts, you just want to see the speaker, you can change your view and just select speaker. Or maybe you want to see all the videos, all of your colleagues in the room, you can change to that gallery view. You can make some changes in there while you're in the meeting to make it more comfortable for you. You can also hide your self view. So if you catch yourself checking yourself out a lot, obsessing over, man, my hair looks really bad today, whatever it is, you can hide your self view so you're not focused on yourself. And you can hide the non-video participants. So in the view section in the upper right-hand corner, you have some options to make the room feel more comfortable for you. So just remember that. They also added this theme and wallpaper section, which I'm not particularly like enamored with, but you can play around with those too. There is a little chime when we raise hands. You've probably heard it. When somebody raises their hand, it does a little pop sound. It's a very quiet, it's not really a chime, it's a little pop sound. You can turn this off if it's distracting. It's under the share button for play chime for raised hands. You can turn that off. It doesn't really bother me, but it's just something to note. Okay. Let's see. Someone asked a question about, I used to be able to mute participants, but now I can't. So you can only mute participants if you're the host or the co-host. So if you're in a big meeting and someone else is running it and people are unmuted, you can't really do anything about it. It has to be the host or the co-host to manage that. You can always, message ahead and say, hey, I'm happy to mute people if they get rowdy or something. But sometimes it's just out of our control. Okay, the other thing is the doorbell sound. When someone joins or leaves a room, you can turn this sound off so that little doorbell sound doesn't ping. It can be really distracting if you have lots of people in the room. So during a meeting, in the participant window, there's a tiny little dot that you can select in the bottom right-hand corner to turn off the play sound when someone joins or leaves, if you don't want to hear the doorbell sound. You can also turn this off in your global settings. You can go to mdacc.zoom.yes.us. Under settings, You can search for sound and you can toggle off that sound notification when someone joins or leaves. So if you don't want to hear that doorbell sound over and over, you can turn that off as the host or as the co-host as well. Also, they've added some host tools. So when you're hosting, if people are going nuts on something, you can suspend their activities. That sounds aggressive, but you can also just select some activities to suspend if it's getting distracting, or if something's missing for some reason. You can go to your host tools, and don't forget that you can check whether you want them to be able to share their screen, chat, all of that. I think by default, most of these or all of these are turned on pretty much. So you can turn some of them off if you want to sort of control the room a little bit better. Okay, so the host tools. So you won't see the host tools right now because you're not hosting, but if you are the organizer of the meeting, you'll be able to turn off the host tools. I mean, you'll be able to manage the host tools. Okay.
There was a question about remote control, and it's specifically locked for institutional accounts only. So if you're an MD Anderson user and you want to request control from somebody else or give control to somebody else, that somebody else also has to be an MD Anderson user.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to read the chat.
And someone is having problems with continuous chat. They asked about it earlier, and they're saying it's not working, but I asked for symptoms of how it's not working.
So let's talk about what it is, in case people don't know. The continuous meeting chat was something that was added, I think, to sort of mirror what Teams does, which is after your meeting, a chat is set up in the Zoom app and you can continue the conversation. You can also keep the files that were shared, the conversation was shared, things like that. You can disable this if you want. If you don't want so many meeting chats popping up in your Zoom app, or don't want to, I don't know, you can disable it if you want. It just depends on what you're doing. I like to personally create a meeting chat for a specific group instead of having a new one start every time there's a meeting. So you can go to the Zoom settings again under continuous meeting chat and turn it off. So if you don't see the continuous meeting chat, perhaps you've turned it off, or perhaps you're in a meeting where someone else turned it off. You'll notice in the app as well now, they've set up something in the team chat places. What do they call it? Shared spaces. They've added something called shared spaces in the team app. So you can create a shared space, kind of like a team, probably not as robust as a Microsoft Teams, if you wanted to have a space where you shared files and chat as well. Of course, you can use Teams, and if you already have a team set up, that might work better. But just to let you know, there is a shared space in here, or you can create a chat specific for a specific group as well. Okay.
Marissa, this is
Yes.
Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the continuous meeting chat, if the host has it on, but I have it off, it's still going to come up in my Zoom app. Because
Yes.
Can it be the other way around? Can I turn it on, but the host turns it off, or does it have to be turned on with the host of the meeting?
It has to be turned on with the host of the meeting, is my understanding.
Thanks.
Yeah, good question. Okay, what else am I missing, Leslie, on the questions? Yes, the co-host can handle the host tools as well.
So the most recent question is, if a department has a speaker and the speaker needs to work the chat, but the speaker is not an employee of MD Anderson, how will that work?
Well, you can still chat with.
But they need to work the chat, as in they need to actually manage it?
I think if you're a co-host or a host, you can still manage the chat, whether you're internal or external. I think that that should work just fine. And you can right click on anyone and make them a host when they enter the meeting as well. So if they enter in and they're from, you know, their Gmail or their Yahoo or something, let me try something. Yeah, you can still make them a co-host. So I see someone in here who's a guest, and I can still click on the ... next to their name and make them a co-host. Leslie, are you able to turn the meeting timer on? Because someone asked about that as a co-host. Can you turn the meeting timer on?
That's what I was looking at.
It's under the view.
Yeah, view. No, it's next to view. It's next to view. The timer app, I turned it on. And if I say start for 5 minutes, I've started a timer. But
Yep, I could see it.
do you see it?
Mhm.
Okay.
So someone had asked about the remote control. Just to let you know, the remote control you can find under the More menu. If you're looking for how to control someone else's Zoom to help them, it's under the More menu. Okay, what else am I missing?
So someone asked about co-host and the recordings, but they answered on a different question. So co-host can record, however, only hosts have direct access to the recording unless someone knows a different way. So I know that for our tool times, I'm the co-host. I still have access to the recordings, but I think that could be because you added me as an alternate host.
I did.
That's why. So you would have to put them in as an alternate host as well as a co-host.
Right. So, okay. I feel like there's so many questions coming. Okay.
There are.
So you can add someone to be your backup so they can get both the reports and the recordings. And that is in the settings on the mdacc.zoom.us site, and we can share that. Someone asked about muting themselves upon entry. If you open the Zoom app, you can go to settings and you go under mute. And it's keep my microphone muted during meetings, and you just make sure that you toggle that on.
So if you are in your mobile settings for Zoom, because there's a question about this as well. Okay. So in the mobile app, what you do is you tap your avatar in the upper left corner, you tap settings, you tap meetings, and there are two toggles at the very top. One is turn off my video and one is mute my microphone. And so if you toggle both of those on, you will go into every meeting muted and with your video off.
Okay, do you want me to show that?
It's on your
it's on the
mobile app.
Oh, on the mobile, so we can't
like on your cell phone.
Okay. Okay, so let's show real quick where the reports are, and I haven't done this in a minute. So, but you can go to mdacc.zoom.us and sign in. And for me, because I'm the host, I can find my reports under reports. And I can find my recordings under recordings and transcripts. But I can set someone to also be able to access this, this information. And I have to remember, Leslie, what is it called? I forgot what they're called.
Is the reports? Is that what we're talking about?
The backup person, we have instructions on this.
Yes, so you have to, it's an alternative host, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. So
yeah,
you can either create an alternative host at the higher level, or you can create it per meeting, correct?
Yes, there's a way to do it at the higher level, but
Yeah.
I don't remember it now that I'm here. So, but we do have instructions, so we'll find it.
We do have instructions. We'll send those out. So someone asks, is there a way to set Zoom to always save the text of the chats in a file? And yes, there is. And for the life of me, I cannot remember it right this second.
I think that's in the settings as well.
But yeah.
But I think it depends on whether it's set to, so you can go to your Zoom settings again under chat, and you can auto save all the chats. They can block you from doing this if they want. So if you're in a meeting and they've blocked it, you can't save it. But if you choose auto save, it will save all of them into your documents folder on your local computer under a Zoom folder. In fact, sometimes your documents folder gets super full with Zoom chats in there. Okay. We're going to come back to questions, I promise. But I want to make sure I get to the end. For the tools at the bottom of your Zoom screen or in your Zoom app, you can reorganize them. So if these are not the tools you use the most, and yours may look slightly different. Oh, someone's suddenly, Leslie.
I think that's the timer.
Oh, was that the timer?
I think so.
Did anyone else hear that?
That was the timer. I heard
We
like
heard it.
the-
It was
We
the
heard
little
timer.
icon, and it said
Yeah.
timer.
Yep, that's the timer.
Okay. So that means my time's up, Leslie. That was interesting and kind of dramatic, like we're winning an
Like
Oscar or
Oscars.
something.
The
I liked
walk-off
it.
sound. Yes, Oscars. I kind of
Okay.
like that.
So you, but I'm totally distracted now. But you could hide or rearrange your tabs or tools. So if these are not the tools you use most frequently, you can drag and drop them into an order that makes sense to you. You can also drop them into the More menu. So if you want fewer things down here, you can drop some into the More menu. You can also pull things out of the More menu into your little tools here at the bottom. So this is just so you get to customize what shows up down here and what you see and use most frequently. Like maybe the closed captions are really important to you, so you want to put that first. You get to decide that. Also in the app, it's the same thing. You can drag and drop your tools at the top. You can go into the More menu and you can drag and drop things from the More menu out into your toolbar here. So just a little control for you to be able to organize it the way that you want. A bonus tip, because this happens sometimes, you lose your window. You have Zoom open and you've got other things open. We shouldn't have 14 things open at the same time, but we all do. In Windows, you can use Alt-Tab on your keyboard, and you can this little window will pop up for you down here and show you all your screens and applications that are open. You can use Tab to tab through and get back to the screen you want. So maybe you minimized your Zoom screen, you can't find it now. You can use Alt-Tab, see all your windows that are open, and tab to the one that you want. You may have accidentally done this a couple times. Windows 11 is especially showing like all your windows a little bit more aggressively than it used to. Alt-Tab is your trick to just get through to the right window that you need to get to. Okay, let's answer questions.
Someone asked about writing the timer instructions. I'm writing them up right now in the chat for y'all.
Okay. So for the recordings, there's lots of questions about recordings too. I have questions in regards to recordings being deleted. Yeah. So they are deleted after so much time, but you can turn that off in the settings. And I think I have mine. So I don't have automatic recording. There's so many settings now, y'all. I can't even keep up with it. Access. No, it's like after 30 days, I think. I can't even find it now. There is a way to turn this off. If you record to the cloud, yes, delete cloud recordings and transcripts after a specified number of days. I've toggled this off so they don't delete. So you can go into your settings and look for recordings and tell it to not delete your files if you don't want to delete them. If you want to find your attendance list, again, it's under reports. But there's a way that you can add somebody on here so they can also get access to this. And I, of course, can't remember how to do it, but we'll share that with you. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, 30 days. Okay, Leslie shared the timer. I've not tried the timer, so that's interesting. I guess we'll have to test that out some more.
Someone asked about notes. Did you answer this question? When you use notes, can you share those notes during the meeting and can write on there too? Can others write on there too?
Yes, we did practice with this before. I believe that I can start a note. Let's see if I can share it. You can have notes that are private, but you can also have shareable ones as well. And let's see if I can share it with you guys. So when I share it, I can choose if I just want y'all to view it or if I want you to collaborate with it. But I just started a note.
And I see the thing that says start collaborating. Someone asked about closed captions, always having them on. There is a setting in the app itself. So if you go to your avatar, you click on settings, you look up closed, and then choose closed captioning. And then now down near the bottom, there is an always show captions in meetings and webinars.
You can toggle this on if you need to.
And you can toggle it on.
For the meeting participants, this window is like sometimes your best friend, if you're the host at least. Your meeting participants window, you just click on participants, and the ... is where you're going to get a lot of your options to mute people, etc. Turn off the doorbell, things like that.
Larissa, do we still have the instructions on how to get your attendance list?
Yes, but we need to share that.
Yeah.
How to make somebody your backup person. Why can't I remember how to do that? I gotta.
At the moment, I cannot remember it all.
You know what's funny about this, Leslie, is if prior to this